Ladies and gentlemen, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Man, has this phone been fun to use. What has this phone been out for, like, what, 3 months now? This phone has been one of the best iPhones that have ever been released. Now, it's not perfect. There are quite a few downsides when it comes to choosing this iPhone 17 Pro Max. And I just want to go over my experience using this device. Coming from a guy who tests and uses a lot of different devices, it should tell you something that this phone is still on my main eSIM. Like, my main eSIM is in this beautiful silver aluminum beast. That should tell you something. Coming from a guy who enjoys using a lot of different devices. Now, first things first, I want to start with the battery life. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is the battery king. There isn't another phone out there right now that I have tested that has a battery that comes close to this device. For me, I can typically get 10 and a half, 11 hours of screen on time on this device before I need to charge it. Absolutely insane battery life. And with that amount of screen on time, I mean, that's just with my daily operations. Now, I do use this phone a lot for my YouTube channel. I use the cameras a lot. I use the video cameras a whole lot. And of course, whenever you use those features, the phone dies a lot quicker than it would if I wasn't using those features. But yeah, for a normal person, you know, you getting 10 hours of screen on time, you're talking an actual 2 full days of usage before this phone fully dies. Now, I typically get a day and a half, but like I said, I do a lot of hardcore, juicy things with this device. This is my, one of my main tools on this channel. But yeah, a normal person, I think you could easily get a day and a half, and you can consistently get 2 full days of battery. Now, that's from 100% to 0%. Now, of course, with this device, you have all of those battery features, right? Like the battery health features, to where you can go in and you can choose different charging limits. You can turn optimized battery charging on and off, and clean energy charging, all of that stuff. Or even you can just limit your charge limit to 80%. If you're somebody who plans to buy this phone and keep it for multiple years, go ahead and turn your charge limit down to 80%, and you should still get a full single day of battery life. That's how good this battery is on this phone. So I love that. Let me show you guys this really quick battery health. I'm at 89 cycles already. Like I said, I've been beating this beast. I still have a maximum capacity of 100%. And I actually got this phone on launch day. But yeah, this phone's battery is absolutely insane. And then when we look at the display to me was an enhancement, an increasement, a upgrade on this device that I immediately noticed compared to my iPhone 16 Pro Max. This phone's screen is ridiculous. First, let's start with the brightness. Now, I don't remember what the exact nittage is. I think it's 3000 nits. This phone now having the brighter 3000 nits brightness is immediately noticeable if you're somebody who uses your iPhone outside. Whenever you are inside, like on normal lighting, the screen looks good in terms of brightness, but you won't get that crazy brightness until you hit the outdoors. I had a lot of occasions with my older iPhone 16 Pro Max where the phone just felt like it did not get bright enough. And not only did it not get bright enough outside, specifically outside, not only did it not get bright enough, but it dimmed as well, which we'll talk about here in a minute when we look at the performance. But this phone's screen gets way brighter, and it doesn't dim whenever you're using it for an extended amount of time outside either, which is something I absolutely love about this device. You've got those crazy, beautiful thin bezels. You've got the dynamic island, which at this point is honestly a staple. And Apple actually introduced a new screen coating for this phone. They released a Apple anti-reflective display. Now, I'm actually using a matte screen protector. You can kind of see the matteness, with the lighting and with that dynamic island there cut out for the matte screen protector. And I like my matte screen protectors. But if you are somebody who just uses this phone naked, I will tell you that, like with no screen protector, I will tell you that this phone does not scratch almost at all compared to previous iPhones. I really love the scratch resistance on this device. And you also have that new anti-reflective coating, which actually does work. So if you're somebody who doesn't use a screen protector or like to use screen protectors, you may be okay this year in terms of scratchiness, and you will also get that amazing anti-reflective coating as well. Now, it's not Galaxy S25 Ultra anti-reflective, but it is a really good anti-reflective display that is very scratch resistant. So I really do like that. And you can't have a crazy good display like this without having software that is beautiful. Liquid glass on this iPhone and iOS 26 is a game changer. It is so beautiful to me. I love these new lock screens with all the different, like the background text behind the wallpapers and all of the different styles of liquid glassiness. Like this wallpaper to me just screams liquid glass. I really, really like iOS 26 on this device. There have been a lot of bugs the last couple of months leading up to this, particularly with just weird performance glitches and things like that. But in a typical manner, like this is just so gorgeous. Look at that liquid glass looking icons there. The clear icons just look awesome. And actually Instagram, they just updated their app. You now have liquid glass in Instagram, which is really, really cool. Look at that. Back to the App Store. You'll see here. Oh, look at that. Liquid glass. Yeah, I love liquid glass. I love iOS 26. It just brings such a unique adjustment to the iPhone. It really makes this software, especially if you are a GUI guy like me who notices the small stuff. Liquid glass just looks so good. It just makes the iPhone have its own personality whenever you compare it to other devices from other manufacturers that are on the market. So Apple, great job with what you've done with liquid glass. Look at that glass there. Really cool. Great job there, guys. And you also now have the ability within settings to adjust the amount of glassiness, which right here you can choose liquid glass. You can choose either clear or tinted. So it's more like a frosty liquid glass versus the clear liquid glass. And you can really see the difference there on the preview. I'm the kind of guy who likes the clear look, but I really, really, really like liquid glass. I love these clear icons that I can now choose on my home screen. I just love this display and this software combined. And like I said, for a while I had performance issues, like jumping from this widget page to this home screen page for like, I swear 2 months lagged. It's finally at the point now to where it's darn near buttery smooth, or for a while there, it just didn't feel that smooth. It's at the point now to where it's pretty polished, where it's blazing fast. But for a while it was a little choppy, it was a little bit jittery. I did have some weird app crashes. Now it's perfect. Yeah, iOS 26.2, this iteration is perfect. Perfect battery life, really good performance. I don't have any issues at all with iOS 26.2. So if you have not upgraded your phone to 26.2, now is the time to upgrade, right? So I feel like this is a pretty good position where Apple is. Now, let me talk really quickly about Apple Intelligence. I still barely use it. So of course it's still on here. That's something that Apple, I've noticed, has stopped advertising. Even with the keynote for this iPhone 17 series devices, I don't think they mentioned Apple Intelligence once. I think Apple realized that they kind of screwed up with this. I do like the writing tools features. I do use that. Sometimes I write out text, whether it's an email or a note or something, and I choose the proofread option. And I just have ChatGPT built in with Apple Intelligence, just read over some of my work I'm doing. Or there are occasions where I have used the writing tools composure option. Let me see if I can show you guys this real quick. So you can click the Apple Intelligence button here, writing tools, swipe up, and then you can choose to compose. And you could tell it like, hey, I have a YouTube channel and I am going to talk about my long-term experience regarding my iPhone 17 Pro Max, period. Make me a list of topics I should cover. Now, I didn't do this, but I probably could use these notes to make this video. I'm not the kind of person who actually uses notes or anything. I just like to free flow my my thoughts. But look at this. Look at the way this Apple Intelligence composed this. Introductions, design and build quality, display performance, battery life. I chose to do that first. Yeah, this is kind of cool. And actually, I can actually go in and adjust a lot of this. I can go into my notes and I can do like different headings. I can make the headings larger. I can choose different subheading colors. And yeah, I really like the notes app as well. Maybe I can do a notes, tips and trips. Maybe I can do a notes, tips and tricks video in the future. But yeah, look how cool that is. So I do use Apple Intelligence every once in a while. I use the visual intelligence quite often. So on the 17 Pro Max, you have the camera control button, of course. So you can hold down your camera control button and then you can ask it to do a search, or you can ask ChatGPT itself. But let's see. Yeah, I picked up my Lemon Arc right away. Look at that. So say I'm out and about and I see something I like and I'm like, what is that? How much does that cost? Where can I buy that? I can use my visual intelligence to search for that particular product or car or house or whatever it is, and it can help you find it. So I do, as you guys see, you saw how quick that was. I do like visual intelligence on this phone. So yeah, Apple Intelligence, it's not bad. It can definitely be better. We definitely need more features. Like I will say, whenever you are inside of the gallery and you are looking to erase an object, for example. So I have a pack of diapers here and I want to edit it and choose the clean up feature. For one, every time you launch this, it has to prepare to clean up. Thanks, Apple. That seems to take a good 10 to 20 seconds every time I do that. But I've noticed a lot of times whenever I do use the clean up feature, it just, it's not very good. So let's see what this does here on camera. I want to remove this price tag. Let's see how fluid and beautiful this looks. Okay, Apple, that doesn't look bad at all. Now, of course, this was a very simple task. I was just asking it to remove the price tag. Let's do this. Let's remove the dry and gentle wording right there. And let's see what that does. Okay. I've seen worse. Let's do one more. Let's remove this green tag here. Looks like it's going to be a hard one. No, it did it. Did it pretty dang well. Hit done. And boom, it's gone. Do they have before and after? No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. But yeah, there have been a lot of occasions. Like I just tried to make a thumbnail on one of my videos a couple of hours ago. And it just looks so bad when I was trying to remove an item that was behind me in my jacket that it took part of the jacket with it. So I don't like that. But yeah, it works sometimes, but on the Samsung phones, that cleanup works so much better. And on the Google Pixel as well, which is honestly just Google Photos, which you can actually do here on the iPhone as well. But yeah, it can be better. Cleanup, it's all right. Of course, it works great whenever I did it here with you. But like I said, that was not a very intrusive task for this phone to do. So yeah, there's that. Siri is still absolute garbage. That's something that Apple really has to nail down. You've got to figure out a way to make Siri better than what it is right now on this iPhone. But yeah, enough with the AI talk. Let's talk about the multimedia experience. This kind of has a lot to do with your display as well, but I just want to say that the multimedia experience on this phone is excellent, whether you're using AirPods, using the Bluetooth, that obviously works very well. But the speakers, I want to talk about the speakers because the speakers on this phone are crazy good. I thought the speakers were good on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, but it is even better on this device. And just look how good this screen looks. This is shot in 4K 60 HDR. So you're watching it in 4K 60 HDR whenever this video is processed. But this video is also in 4K 60 HDR. So you can see how beautiful that looks. You can see how thin the bezels look. And like I said, this is actually with my matte screen protector, so this isn't even as good as it can be. But I really love the way this phone looks and operates whenever you're using it as a multimedia beast. It's large, it's beautiful. Obviously it's a large phone, but it's not stupid heavy whenever you are holding it. So I do like that. And yeah, like I said, the speakers are crazy good. So if you're somebody who likes watching movies and a lot of YouTube videos like I do on your phones, this phone is excellent for that. Big, beautiful display, slim bezels, and an excellent audio experience. You can't go wrong with an iPhone except that. You have the large dynamic island cutout, which, at this point, it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm kind of used to seeing it. It's kind of like Apple's trademark. It's kind of beautiful at this point, right? Yeah, it's there, and I'm used to it. But if I would say, if there's anything that I could add a negative to in the multimedia experience, it is with Dynamic Island. But I also want to mention that Apple still does not have any type of multitasking available to their iPhones. I have this big old giant iPhone, and I can't watch a YouTube video while checking my emails at the same time. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely uncalled for. Apple, make it happen. Like, all of this screen right here could be me reading over my emails while I am watching this video. Now, of course, I can do that using the picture-in-picture mode, but still, man, that's not real multitasking. That's Google. That's Google granting the ability for me to do this with my YouTube Premium subscription. But yeah, I would like it built into the operating system. Or say I wanted to, I don't know, read a web article while I'm responding to like a Teams message or something like that. Yeah, I wish I could do that on this phone. That would add to the multimedia and productivity experience. I talked about performance very briefly, but I'm just gonna say performance on this phone is great. I have no issues with gaming, no issues with productivity, with video recording, with anything that I throw at it. I beat the heck out of this phone, as you can see by the cycle counts. And it never slows down anymore, especially with the latest version of the operating system. This phone just feels blazing fast all of the time. I don't have any issues with anything that I'm doing. And I really like how the RAM keeps apps open in the background a lot more than what they used to in the past, especially, since this one has more RAM available to it. Yeah, the performance on here, really good. Nowadays, it's not a huge topic to discuss. It used to be 5 minutes long inside of a video, but now it's within 30 seconds. I can just say it's excellent. You won't have any problems at all with any of these new iPhones. But I will say that cooling is so good. The cooling is so good on this phone that I forgot that phones heated up. Like, the cooling, the heat that this phone produces is non-existent. It is crazy. I can probably count on my fingers how many times I have gotten this phone to heat up, and that's coming from an extreme power user. So for a normal person, especially like if you use a phone case, this phone will never heat up on you. And that's a benefit, not only because it prevents or it limits the amount of degradation on your iPhone's battery. But like I mentioned earlier, this phone does not dim the display whenever you're using it hard in the sun. That's a problem I've had on every single iPhone ever, from the 16 Pro Max down. I've always had my iPhone's screens dim whenever the brightness was too much for it. And that doesn't happen with the new iPhone 17 Pro series devices. You don't have that problem anymore. So yeah, Apple, this, man, the performance with this display, with this beautifully juicy, glassy, slim software, man, it's just so good. If you have any problems with like your older iPhone with performance, jumping over to this, you're just going to be awed. Especially if you're somebody like me who pays attention to the small stuff. The performance is just crazy. I love it. So great job, Apple, with the performance. It took me a while to talk about this, but this design, man, this design is it's legendary at this point. Apple went buck wild and said, hey, we no longer want to make the prettiest iPhone, our Pro iPhone. We will save that for our iPhone Air this year. And we will make our Pro iPhone a utilitarian beast. We will give it this weird random antenna cutout. I think that's for millimeter wave. We'll give it this weird cutout on top of the phone that just gets all beat up and ugly looking. We will give it a soft aluminum piece of metal, unibody piece of metal, and just throw in some random just white glass on the back of the iPhone. And we don't care what this phone looks like. We just care that it performs admirably, amazingly. Yeah, that's what Apple did. And I'm proud to say that I am a fan. I am glad they did that. I'm glad they made this phone a little bit uglier in a lot of people's eyes to give it that utilitarian, to give it that cooling that is unmatched, to give it that unique flair. I love it. I personally love this design. I loved my Cosmic Orange 17 Pro as well. I really like it. I like the way this dual tone looks on this phone, and it's grown on me a lot. And I went with the silver. I've got a few, let's see, where's that dent? I've got a little dent right there. You can barely see. That was actually from a drop without a case. There it is, you can see it right there. But this phone for me still looks really good. I don't really see that much, maybe a little bit of wear and tear like around there, probably from taking cases on and off. It's good. I love this design. It's not too heavy. It's not too thick. It's a little bit thicker than I want, honestly, especially since I've been using super slim phones lately, but it's not bad for what it is. I'm actually glad that it's still thick because of that battery life. Apple, they knocked this design out of the park in my opinion. I personally love it. All right, guys, this is a long one, so let's wrap this up. Let me talk about the cameras really quickly. The cameras on this phone are absolutely insane. I love the Tri 48 megapixel setup Apple went with this year. The 4X lens is honestly my favorite. They gave us a 100 millimeter lens. Yeah, 100 millimeters. They gave us a 100 millimeter lens that is larger for a telephoto lens. So the usability of this 4X lens in darker environments is actually still really good. They made it 48 megapixels. Finally, I don't know why Apple stuck with a, what was it, a 5X 12 megapixel camera. Absolute trash. I'm glad that they upgraded the telephoto to 48 megapixels. And that grants us the ability to use the 8X option, 200 millimeters at 12 megapixels. I really love the way Apple does the cameras on this phone. And I love how you also have different options at the 1X range. So you have a 24 millimeter, a 28 millimeter, and then a 35 millimeter option, which is 1X, 1.2X, and 1.5X. I love that. And those are all shot at 24 megapixels, which the entire HEIF, which is standard format, it's all shot at 24 megapixels. And then you can actually go in there and either choose RAW or choose the full 48 megapixel option, or RAW 12 and 48 megapixel options. The versatility on this camera is insane. The level of photos you can get on this camera, in my experience, is honestly unmatched. I love it. And I've actually been playing around with the styles option. So I've been liking this quiet option that is tuned like this. Let me jump back and see if I can find you some photos I took with that quiet look. I really liked the way it looked. It looked cool in the fall whenever I was taking the photos. Yeah, here we go. So that was just with that stock quiet theme. I liked the way that looked. I thought it looked pretty cool. Let him in there. I thought that just looked so cool. It gave me fall vibes and I loved it. Where's another one? Yeah, look at that, dude. I just think that looks so cool compared to every other photo that is out there. And this is just point and shoot, no edits, no raw, nothing. It was just take the shot and go, man. I love it. With the 24 megapixel option, with either one of these different styles or just standard. And I just suggested it where I like it for my personal taste. And that's what I use right there, color and tone. Apple, they knocked this camera out of the park, and that goes for the video cameras as well. The video cameras are insane. I shoot all my videos in 4K 60, high dynamic range, and I love it. You have the ability to shoot in 4K 120. The cinematic video just looks amazing on this device. I love the cameras and the video cameras on here. It is crazy good. Apple knocked it out of the park. Once again, the cameras are unmatched, honestly. And this video was actually shot in the Galaxy S25 Ultra, so let me know how this looks to your eyes. But yeah, this iPhone, man, the camera is just so great. It is unbeatable, to be honest. So yeah, I think I hit all of the points I wanted to discuss in this video. I will say that I think that this phone to me it could easily be the phone of the year for me. I mean, I love this device. It is just so good. And I think it's going to be this good until the iPhone 18 Pro Max comes out. And I can't really say what I expect Apple to do with that phone. I mean, this phone is so good. It's going to be hard to enhance like the abilities of a slab device. It's going to be very hard to make a phone that's better than this. I mean, maybe make it thinner with an even larger battery and enhance the software to allow me to use more multitasking. That would be crazy. Outside of that, you know, this phone is just perfect. Unless Apple goes crazy and does something out the wazoo, this phone's great. You still do have to look at that price. This phone is very, very expensive, and it's out of the price range for a lot of people. And now that Apple doesn't have a Plus model device, this is the only brand new phone you can buy right now that has a large display. You know, not saying that the iPhone 17's display isn't large, but if you want the Mac Daddy display size, you've got to go with the Pro Max now. Which is, you know, that's how it was in the past before the Pluses came out. But yeah, you got to go with the big beast. You got to go with Big Bertha if you want a large screen. I will say for a lot of people, especially if you throw on a case on this phone gets heavy. It really does. It gets heavy. So yeah, give me a little bit thinner design. Go with like a silicon carbon 6500 battery and a thinner device that's also lighter. That would be crazy. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not really sure what else I would like to see done on this phone. I would like to see new colors. This phone with like an alpine green, oh my God, or a cherry red, woof, those would be beautiful. Or even like a sage green, like the iPhone 17. Anyways, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all of you all for stopping by and checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, if you had a good time just hanging out with your boy, then let me know down below. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what phone you are using. And if you made it all the way through to the end of this video, leave a comment down below with an alien emoji, just so I know who the real ones are. But I appreciate you all for stopping by. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah, I'm about to fade away.